YouTube, my name is Mesa Sean, and welcome back to another Destiny 2 video. Alright folks, we're going to do a number of things in this video. We're going to talk about Iron Banner once again, and give you my thoughts and opinions because I finished out all 3 characters. I did the quest line, and I turned in about 1,000 tokens to Lord Garden Saladin, and then we're going to go over some Bungie news because we're getting some massive changes to the sandbox, and we also have a Bungie bounty coming up. So without further ado, let's get into it, and if you enjoy this video, a like rating is very much appreciated, and subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Let's get into it. The famous wrestler The Big Show, who is a huge Destiny fan, is coming by Bungie Studios today, and there will be a Bungie bounty on PlayStation 4 from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. And here is the emblem that you can win. So they're going to be playing some strikes, some Vex offensive, and then they will finish up with some Crucible. So if you beat them in the Crucible, you will win that emblem, and if you simply match up with them in the Vex offensive or strikes, you will also get the emblem. On October 29th, we are getting update 2.6.1, and this one's going to involve super energy refunding kills. So let me read you their goals. They say for a while now, Trample and Everlasting Flames have been an outlier, especially in PvP. We've previously done a pass to add diminishing returns to this, but it's proven to not be enough. In this update, we've tightened the curve a bit and split it out over PvE and PvP. This should allow Guardians to keep dunking on combatants for longer while being less oppressive against one another. Additionally, the Striker, we've increased the cost of the light attack to make dashing across the map a little less forgiving. We still want this to be used as a way to run people down or dodge and be shifty, but this change should make it costly enough to be prohibitive as a form of long-distance travel. Finally, regeneration will no longer proc on melee kills while in your super. This combination was just too strong and overly forgiving of strategic or positional mistakes. So, with that being said, Striker, Code of the Juggernaut, the bottom path, here's what's happening to you because you're on the chopping block. So I will read this verbatim and link it in the description if you want to read it. So for Trample, tune the amount of super energy returned per kill. Reduced amount returned possible per kill from 15% down to 13% before diminishing returns. Reduced the low end of the diminishing returns from 5% to 3.25%. Change the kills from the diminishing returns by splitting them out between players and combatants. Previously, it was 15 kills. Now it's 14 combatant kills or 7 player kills. Players count for 2 times towards the diminishing returns. Now the cost of light attack in super increased by 50% from 2% to 3%, and also regeneration on kill no longer procs on super kill. Buzzkill for us Warlock mains like myself, Dawnblade the bottom path, a 2-min of flame is getting a little bit of a nerf here. And I like it so much is because you can make that thing go on and on and on as long as you're killing red bars, rank and file enemies. And even when I'm laying into a boss, let's say in Vex Offensive, as I'm throwing my flaming swords at the boss, well, I'll throw it at a few red bars to get some of that super energy back and then continue to lay into the boss. So here's what they're doing to Everlasting Flames. Tune the amount of super energy returned per kill, handled differently than Striker as this attack is an AoE, area of effect. Increase the low end of the diminishing returns from 0.75% to 0.95%. Change the kills for the diminishing returns by splitting them out between players and combatants. Previously, it was 30 kills. Now it is 21 combatant kills or 7 player kills. Players count for 3 times towards diminishing returns. Now PvP, I get it, because some Warlocks can just go on and on and on forever. For me, when I play my Warlock, I always go a Voidwalker, bottom tree, usually with Astrocyte Verse and sometimes Ophidian Aspect. But for PvE, yeah, that's my favorite, aside from the Well of Radiance. So what do you guys think of those 2 changes, you Titans and you Warlocks out there? I'm not exactly happy about that second one. Next up, we've got some quality of life and bug fixes. So for the Sentinel, Code of the Protector, the top path with your good old Ward of Dawn. So with Ward of Dawn, Armor of Light timer now will correlate with the life of the Ward of Dawn. And also the particle effects move more rapidly towards the end of the Ward of Dawn's life. How have you guys been enjoying the change to Ward of Dawn? well, when I play my Titan, I find myself actually using it more often because, well, that's the most powerful buff you're going to get in the game. The Warlock Well, I believe, is 30%, and the Ward of Dawn is going to give you a 35% in terms of a damage to buff. So when I'm out and about doing strikes or playing Vex Offensive or getting invaded by the Vex in the Moon, I'm seeing a lot more Ward of Dawns out there because, man, yeah, that damage buff is awesome. Next up, if you like 1-2 punching and shoulder charging bosses, well, you're going to be out of luck because check this out. That actually is a bug, and I'm going to read this verbatim from Bungie. So, shoulder charge. We've removed a bug that allowed players to shoot immediately before activating shoulder charge, which allowed players to apply the 1-2 punch damage buff to shoulder charge. This bug was caused by a quality of life change made for the Tempest Strike. Before Shadowkeep, if players had the sprint button configured as hold to sprint, then they would need to be holding the sprint button while sliding in order to activate Tempest Strike. With the release of Shadowkeep, we added a small window of time where players could activate Tempest Strike after letting go of the sprint button. This change had unexpected effects on other melee abilities, so we have reverted this change until we could find a better fix for the Tempest Strike. Bungie does say and hint at that One-Eyed Mask for the good old Titans will be catching a nerf, because if you look at, well, at least my Twitter feed is just non-stop complaints about One-Eyed Mask for the Titan. Now, I used it when I was playing PvP or playing Iron Banner this week, and we're going to talk about Iron Banner some more in a little bit here, and I found it useful, but I'm a Warlock main. But I did find that playing on my Titan with One-Eyed Mask was way easier than playing on any other subclass. No offense, Titans, but I feel like in PvP, you guys got it easy. The gliding and running around with Lion Rampants, well, when I wasn't using One-Eyed Mask and using Lion Rampants, the movement of the Titan in PvP was amazing, especially using Pulse Rifles and Recluse. And yes, guys, my PvP gameplay, if you're new to my channel, I know I'm finally posting PvP gameplay. I am average at best, so when you post in the comments, these plays are average, tell me something we don't know, okay? I know that I'm average. But Bungie does say at the bottom of these quality of life changes, they say here, we're also aware about other abilities and gear not mentioned above. We do have our eye on One-Eyed Mask. Expect a change in a future update. Next up, we've got a really long post from Bungie regarding Armor 2.0 that's in the This Week at Bungie. Now, I will link it in the description and just kind of go through some of the bullet points. But in a nutshell, it's their feedback from our feedback. A lot of us are complaining about the whole affinity system. That's why when it comes to armor, I always try to keep for each piece an affinity for each element, basically. So for my helmet, I have all three. For my gauntlets, all three, before I even look at the stats of intellect, discipline, and strength. But good news, guys. In update 2.6.1, you'll be able to see in your collections which mods you have and which ones you do not have. However, for now, just use destinysets.com/mods, and you'll be able to log in with your Bungie account and see which ones you have and you don't have. So Bungie says the most frequent questions and feedback come from the energy affinity system, which determines which mods can be socketed into which armor pieces. So the main bullet points is, well, their goals are this. 1, give players the freedom to experiment with builds while also requiring players to make creative choices when putting together those builds. 2, give players the ability to balance mods above and beyond pure effectiveness. And 3, relieve information overload pressure on the mod UI. In a nutshell, it's a long read, but it's them explaining the rationale behind things. And what I tell folks is, like I said before, for each piece of armor, just keep all 3 elements, and you're pretty much good to go. And then if you find a better stat roll of that element, then ditch the old one and use the new one. But at this stage in the game, unless you're really at the end game and getting really good stat rolls on pieces of gear, I would hold off on using enhancement prisms or even ascendant shards to masterwork stuff. That's more for the hardcore. Iron Banner is an enhanced mod farm by far. So I finished the quest line on all 3 characters Wednesday night and Thursday night. and then I completed most of the Pinnacle reward bounties. Now, first off, all the Pinnacle reward bounties, they just gave me weapons, no armor whatsoever. And I was hoping to get some armor with some really good stats. I thought the Pinnacle activities are supposed to give you armor that's supposed to give you good stats. None of the armor I got from either the bounties or from Saladin himself had good stats. Terrible. Maybe 1 or 2 items that were over 60. The rest were below 50 and absolutely garbage. But it is a farm for enhanced mods, and I got a ton of them. I even got my enhanced hand cannon targeting mod, which I was pretty happy with. But the loot itself, no new weapons. Bungie, we need new weapons. And for armor, I feel like a Pinnacle activity, right? Is Iron Banner a Pinnacle activity? It was in Destiny 1. It should be giving you stats on your armor that are really good. And I will do the raid this weekend for the first time with the WTF Game Nation guys on Sunday. They will be streaming it. I'll tweet out their stream links and everything. And we'll see how it goes. Let's see what kind of armor I get and what will the stat roll. I feel like endgame activities should give you the best stats. I've asked around on Twitter. Some folks have said they've gotten stat rolls with 70. No, the highest I've seen was 79, but I don't know if they're pulling my chain or not. Anyway, I'm in Babel mode. Bottom line is Iron Banner is a great farm for enhanced mods. Armor, not so much. Weapons, I would say definitely not. But let me know what your experience has been. And actually, if you're getting good stat rolls, comment in the comments section. Where are you getting them from? And what kind of stat rolls are you getting? But yeah, definitely play Iron Banner. It's a farm for enhanced mods. All right, guys, that's it for the video. Leave me a hashtag made it to the end if you did make it to the end. If you'd like to further support this channel and what I do, click the link in the description to become a channel member and join our channel member Discord. We have a Mesa Army clan, and we've got an awesome community that we're building over on Discord. I love hanging out with you guys. It's awesome. Drop a like in this video only if you see fit. Follow me on Twitter at MesaSean. Check out my stream. You usually know it's on YouTube, and that's it. I am out of here like Vladimir.